Hi, it's Kelly Rasmussen here with another Hero Arts video, and today I'm going to show you how I created the canvas tag on this card. I'm going to first start by cutting a piece of sticky back canvas to my tag size, and then I'm going to remove the backing. I find it's a little easier to work with, and I want to create a frayed edge all around the tag. So I'm going to cut a little slit about 1/4 of an inch in, and then I'm just going to tear the canvas, and this will create a nice frayed edge. And I'm just going to continue doing this on all 4 sides of my tag. And then once you get all the sides done, I'm going to smooth it out and trim off any of the loose threads. Now I'm just going to stick my tag down on my craft sheet, and I'm going to do some stamping and embossing. I'm going to take each of these 3 butterfly images and randomly stamp them on the tag using some Versamark ink. And once those are done, I'm going to peel up my tag, and I'm going to sprinkle on some white embossing powder. And I just try to tap away as much of the excess as I can. And any areas that I notice that might have some embossing powder left, I go in with a paintbrush and brush away the powder from those areas. And then I'm going to emboss my images using my heat gun. And I have noticed it takes a little longer to emboss on canvas than it does on cardstock, so you'll want to hold your heat gun on there just a little bit longer. Now I'm going to do some stamping over the top of my embossed butterflies. I'm going to take this Scripty stamp and some vintage photo distress ink, and I'm going to create a background over my whole tag. And when I stamp on canvas, I like to press down extra hard and even give it a little wiggle just to make sure I'm getting a nice clean impression. And then I'm just going to give it a quick zap with my heat gun to make sure this ink doesn't bleed. Next up, I'm going to add some color to my tag using some distress stains. And I have shabby shutters and tumbled glass here. And I'm just going to put some ink down on my craft sheet. And these distress stains are basically a liquid form of the distress ink pads. They react with water the same way, and they blend very well. Now I'm going to spritz a little water on my craft sheet until the ink starts to bead up, and then I'm going to place my canvas tag face down and pick up the ink with my tag. And I'm just going to keep doing this until my tag is covered and I've got the look that I want. And once I'm done with that, I'm just going to wipe off the excess ink with a clean cloth, and you can see the embossed areas are really starting to show through. And now, since I'm going to be putting this tag on the front of a card, I want it to be a little more sturdy, so I'm just taking a piece of white cardstock that I've cut slightly smaller than the size of the tag, and I'm just going to mount it on the back of the canvas. And this will just make the tag a little more sturdy. Now I'm going to create a little ring to go around the hole that I'm going to punch at the top of the tag. And to do this, I just use a regular hole punch first, and then I take a 1/2 inch circle punch and go in and punch the outer circle. And this will create the perfect little ring to put on the top of your tag. Now when you create your own tags, I think these little rings are just a fun little way to customize your own tags. You can do them in different colors, shapes, You could do them in hearts, flowers. You could even stamp a little pattern on the ring, but I just think it's a fun little touch to add to your own tags. And there you have the finished tag. Next, I just want to show you a few tips for stamping on acetate. I've cut just a thin strip of acetate here, and I'm going to put some glue dots on the very edge of 2 of the corners. And this is just going to hold the acetate in place while I stamp on it. And I'm going to place it on some grid paper and line it up so I have a nice straight line to stamp on. And then I'm going to take some brown StazOn ink and the thank you sentiment from the Classic Messages stamp set, and I'm going to repeatedly stamp it across the acetate strip. And by following those grid lines, you will end up with a perfectly straight line. And then you can just peel up the acetate from the grid paper, and the glue dot should stay stuck to the paper and you won't have any residue left on your acetate. And I also just wanted to show you that if you did mess up on stamping on the acetate, you can just take some StazOn cleaner, rub it over your stamped image, and wipe it with a clean cloth. And then you're good to go and you can restamp your image. Here's a look at the final card with the canvas tag and the acetate strip on the side.